30-year-old Hana Kobayashi was officially last seen on security footage on November 11th when she was spotted on security footage at the Pico metro station in Los Angeles. Hana's sister, Sydney, noted on the Help Us Find Hana Facebook page that it has been confirmed that Hana was spotted on video at a Greyhound bus terminal in Union Station on November 12th at 6:30 a.m. No one else was in the camera frame, so either Hana was alone or another person was with her, but that person was out of the camera frame. LAPD Chief Jim McDonald said at a Los Angeles Board of Police Commissioners meeting on Tuesday of this week that Hana intentionally missed her connecting flight from LA to New York, but the LAPD hasn't explained why they're saying this. Did they interview the American Airlines ticketing agents who Hana spoke to while at LAX? Did Hana say something to the ticketing agents? Hana's family says it's not true that she missed the flight intentionally. The family and a friend of Hana's say that she would never do this and cause her family this level of distress. Chief McDonald also mistakenly said Hana was 23. She's not. She's 30. So how devoted to Hana's case are the LAPD? So many details in this story feel off and unsettling. Hana was traveling on the same flight as her ex-boyfriend, who bought the airline tickets for them while they were still a couple. Hana's flight from Maui to LAX landed at 9:53 on November 8th. She missed the 11 p.m. connecting flight to New York, but her ex-beau did not. She spent the night at the airport. On Saturday, November 9th, between noon and 3 p.m., Hana was spotted at the Grove Shopping Center, specifically at the Toshin bookstore. She charged her phone there. She took a photo of a book and sent it to her aunt at 2:43 p.m. Hana also filled out a newsletter form at the bookstore. Note that the Grove is 42 minutes away from the airport by car. That same day in the evening, Hana was spotted back at LAX. Saturday turns into Sunday. On Sunday, November 10th, Hana is once again at the Grove, this time captured on video outside a LeBron James event at the Nike store. The family believes Hana returns to LAX that evening. Monday, November 11th, at 5 p.m., Hana is spotted talking to a ticket agent at LAX. Hana then boards the LAX Metro C line at Aviation/Century Station at 9:04 p.m. She transfers trains at Rosa Parks Station. It's confirmed that Hana was accompanied by another person while on the metro, somebody her family does not recognize. At 10:03 p.m., Hana is seen in video footage departing the Metro Pico station. These two stations are in dangerous areas of Los Angeles. On Tuesday, November 12th, Hana is seen at the Greyhound terminal at Union Station at approximately 6:30 a.m. No one else is in the footage, but it's possible another person could have been avoiding the cameras. So far, those are the last sightings of Hana Kobayashi. Hana's family and a friend from Hawaii named Ariana Ursua say that the final string of text messages sent from Hana's cell phone don't sound like her. Ariana met Hana in 2017 at a Whole Foods in Maui, where she worked. According to Ariana, Hana's texts are usually full of emojis, and she has a very distinctive way of messaging. She typically ends her messages with heart emojis, stars, butterflies, waves, rainbows. Ariana says Hana is a genuine free spirit, but she also isn't somebody who just casually disappears. Like Hana's sister Sydney, Ariana is certain that Hana would not just ghost out of nowhere. Hana's sending text messages saying, quote, "Deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all my funds, and have me on a mind F since Friday. This is alarming to her friends and family. They do not hear Hannah's voice or writing style in these messages. Hannah also wrote in one message, quote, I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved, end quote. Weird to see the word funds twice in these messages. That's a word Sydney said her sister would not use. This would seem to indicate that whoever is writing those texts is one and the same person, and it's not Hannah. Another message reads, I'm just really scared, love and the redwoods. If calling me, and I know I'm meant to be there, I'm being guided there, like you have before. I risk my freedom if this goes wrong for me, hun. Hannah also sent her aunt in New York, Lori Pigeon, a text saying, I just finished a very intense spiritual awakening, end quote. And a woman who once ran a floral design business in Hawaii with Hannah said that the use of the word hun is particularly concerning. That's not something Hannah would necessarily say. We also know that Hannah sent 2 Venmos to people whose names her family doesn't recognize, Jonathan Taylor and Veronica Almendarez. YouTuber JLR tracked down Jonathan Taylor by phone, and Taylor, who lives in DeSoto, Texas, confirmed that he received money from Hannah. Supposedly the payment was for $25. However, Taylor, who says he's paralyzed with a brain injury, also claims he doesn't know Hannah and has never met her. He went on to tell a rambling story that made little sense about being scammed by some African guy who supposedly does spiritual readings with tarot cards. Taylor claims he paid this African guy around $1,000 for readings. He also claims the African hacked his Venmo account. Taylor also believes he's a reincarnated Viking named Ivar the Boneless, a character he learned about on the show The Vikings. JLR reached out to Taylor, and Taylor then contacted him back. His story to me sounds like one big lie, but then again he contacted JLR when he didn't have to. Taylor sounds like either someone desperate to walk again and thus willing to pay so-called spiritual healers who make promises they maybe can't keep, or someone who is the scammer trying to pretend he was somehow scammed despite being the person who got money Venmo'd into his account by Hannah. Hearing all this, I began to wonder if Taylor somehow catfished Hannah, pretending to be someone she thought she fell in love with, someone she later learned only wanted to scam her for money. I find it weird that Taylor is talking about this African tarot card reader that he supposedly paid upwards of $1,000 to, but he's also the guy receiving the money from Hannah. So who's scamming who? I saw on Reddit that someone found a lady in Mission, Texas who runs a business called Tarot Card Readings by Veronica. But that's a stretch, as this lady did not say her name is Almendarez, and they describe it as some sort of spiritual awakening. It does seem possible that Hannah could be experiencing a mental health breakdown, which has led her to make decisions that have put her in harm's way. We know she was seen with a stranger at that Pico metro station, looking, according to her family, unwell, and wearing the same clothes she arrived in to LAX. We also know that Hannah texted weird messages on November 11th. She wrote, quote, I have a safe passage, end quote. Will keep you posted, Matrix style, end quote. I'm safe, love you, don't worry. For the good of all, I will keep you posted. Promise, call you soon, end quote. But Hannah's phone was last turned on at LAX on November 11th around 4:30 p.m. Here's what the statement says. We are doing everything in our power to locate Hannah. Based on information, surveillance footage reviewed, and information shared with us, These are the facts known to my mom and I. It does not appear that Hannah intentionally missed her flight. My mother and I were unaware about the alleged findings presented at the LA Police Commissioner meeting until multiple videos of the meeting were sent to us by multiple citizens. These alleged findings have yet to be relayed to my mother and I directly from the chief of the LAPD or any detective involved in Hannah's case. My mother and I would later learn that the police commission is a 5-member committee made up of 5 civilians, not law enforcement, who are not directly involved in Hannah's missing persons case. Specific facts contained in that report were inaccurate, such as Hannah's age. Hannah is 30 years old, not 23. Also, Hannah was reported to law enforcement on November 11th, not November 13th, as stated by the chief of the LAPD. The lack of communication surrounding some important details has left us feeling excluded, potentially from crucial developments. However, we do remain hopeful and optimistic that the LAPD is doing everything in their power to assist us in locating Hannah. We are devastated by Hannah's disappearance and now by my father Ryan's passing. It is completely out of character for Hannah to simply disappear without a trace. We remain deeply concerned about Hannah's safety, her well-being, and her current state of mind. Hannah, if you happen to see this, know that we are not going to give up or stop searching until we find you. We know that this is something you would never do on your own accord, unless you felt some type of threat or you were unwell. We know how much you love all of us, and we love you deeply.